Hey, welcome back to the Podfathers Talk. I'm your host, MD the Money Dad. Got Louis Romero with me, like always.
Yeah.
So, welcome back to the podcast where we discuss a lot of topics. But remember, your life will either be an example or a warning sign to people. So, live a great life, man. I'm telling you, it's worth it. So, but hey, since we're talking about like living a great life, obviously Thanksgiving being tomorrow, right? What do you feel like maybe something that kind of happened this year that you've been really thankful about?
There's so many things, and
Yeah,
it usually leads back to my family, man. There was my father-in-law went through an accident,
yeah,
and he had to come. Not that he had to, but he chose that he because our house was more conveniently closer to the hospital and for checkups and for his rehabilitation. Because he had to learn how to
yeah. The
walk
help and all
again.
that. Yeah.
One of the biggest things that it's to slow down.
Mm,
Most of the times, and I get it, we're go-getters, we want to accomplish goals, we're very competitive, nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
And I think the reason Ophelia and I are so competitive is because we have great examples in our parents. They're competitive, they're hardworking. And one of the things God did this year for my family is he set us down.
Okay.
He literally set us down, like, as Ophelia right now is not here because
Yeah.
what happened to her foot. And so the thing that it's okay to slow down, be thankful for that season, for that time being.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is the family got closer
Okay.
because of these incidents. The kids had to take time and say, okay, we need to plan to spend time with our parents.
That's good.
And so I see them sitting down with them, bringing them food, going out to eat. It's just, we always one of the things that we work so hard for is our family, but sometimes we don't make time for the family
Yeah.
because we think that taking care of the family is paying the bills,
Yeah.
and it goes beyond that. And I think God this year showed my whole family, not just my wife's family, my family, I mean, her family's my family, so it showed our family, like, I'm glad that you guys work hard and I'm going to bless you,
Yeah.
but also enjoy some time together. Now, obviously, the men are still working, but it's just, I love the fact that now I guess the importance shifted. Now it's not so much as let's go out, we'll hang out when we have time. It became a priority. Now
Gotcha.
if that's what I'm thankful for, not for the accident itself,
Yeah. Yeah.
but for what happened after the accident, because God is so wonderful in everything that He allows to happen. There's a reason, right? He turns it for good, and I just experienced it, and I haven't really spoken to them about it, but there's debates, when you sit down with people and you're having
Real
conversations.
conversation. Yeah.
It's really cool because I've gotten to know my in-laws even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's we're thankful, and obviously they're healing, they're doing much better. But it's just that's what I'm thankful for. That God said, sit down for a little bit. I want you guys to spend some time. And
Yeah.
now we're going back to work. It's because it is. We want to get to the next level. So, what about you? What is it that you're thankful?
Yeah. I was just kind of thinking about yours. Man. Yeah. Because we move so fast all the time, and if you're that kind of, I think most people are that kind of, or even if you're not like a what's next kind of person, you're people they fill their life with so much stuff. Like kids got soccer practice, kids got football, then kids got basketball, this kid's got dance, this kid. It's like you're rushing and you don't even know you're rushing. And I don't know how you feel when you rush, and I like get frustrated sometimes, right? Especially when I have to rush others, right? But yeah, and when you slow down,
Crystal.
God makes you focus on the important things and realize that
Yeah.
you're gonna rush. Why are you rushing through life? Like, are you trying to
Yeah.
get to the end of your life, or are you trying to
Yeah.
just enjoy what God's given you? So, but yeah, thanks for the question back. What I'm most thankful for, man. I woke up this morning, dude. My. I know some people say it's bad to have your kids sleep with you. I'm sure it is, but also I love it because they won't always be in my bed, So I tell people, just have a house with multiple bedrooms. You could have two bedrooms. You know what I mean? Like
It's so
it's awesome.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, some people again, everyone's a belief their own, But we choose to have our daughter sleep with us. They're younger, and I woke up and I saw all three of them because I kind of got up and I started moving, getting ready to do some stuff. And my other one just scooted, so they were all three right next to each other, and I was just like, just you see it, right? You woke up, you talked about seeing your son asleep, but then you see them cuddled all up together, and you're like, you could have all the money in the world, but if you miss this part, you don't get to replay it. And I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad, because I know everyone's like, man, but I work hard when my kids are young. I go, look, whatever you feel is best for you. Like, because God, what God told you, he probably didn't tell me, who knows, right? What I know he's spoken to me is he gave me two girls, and they're like exact same ages as me and my brother were, between. And I get to see them grow up. And I tell people, you don't get to repeat that time again. Like, they're only 5 once. They're only 2. My youngest turned 2 like 2 weekends ago. They're
Wow.
only 2, right? Your boy just turned 1. He's talking about how he learning how to turn when he walks, right? You
Yeah.
only get to see that to us it's like funny, but not in a rude way, but like you only get to see it once, because
Right.
he's going to learn how to turn, and then he won't never do that again,
Right.
right? And they only run to you, hopefully they run to you forever, but I'm talking about, like, they're only waiting for me when I get home in my garage door for only so long, right? So, like, that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful I didn't have to necessarily slow down, right? Just I'm think God's opened my eyes more to see that, yes, it's okay to chase more, but you prayed for what you prayed 5 and 10 years ago for what you got now.
Mm.
Don't forget to look and stop it. It sounds stop and smell the roses. I think that's what I
Right.
kept thinking about.
Right. Okay.
Right? Like, just stop, look around, and be thankful, and it's okay to still be hungry. Right?
Right.
So let's talk about real quick with that. So when you're balancing, like, how do you? I don't like the word balance, but I guess that's the best way to maybe describe. How do you know when it's time to work, when it's time to stop? Because there's probably a lot of men that listen to us as well, right? It's the Podfather, so I don't know how many women listen to us, but the men that are, out here focused, trying to make something happen in their life, and then you hear so many different voices like, work your butt off in your 20s, because you have all the energy in the world, and your energy is going to disappear. So when you're in 30s, you can be free. And then some people are like, man, enjoy your 20s because you're young, your energy, enjoy your life. Because when you're 50 years old, you might have all the money in the world, but you might not be able to move, right? Like, how have you decided? Because now we're older, right? We're in our 30s. How have you decided to know when it's time to stop and slow down, when it's time to get to work and don't get distracted, right? And then also, hey, I need to take some time off and go take my wife on a vacation. How do you know when it's that time for you and your family?
First of all, is communication. And you need. Well, no, sorry. Let me backtrack. First is know thyself, and second, communication with the people that are important to you. That's if we say, I'm doing this for my family, and that's what I say.
Yeah.
That's why I can only speak about from my point of view. Then I have to include them.
Yep.
Right? I can't just make the decisions for them. I have to know what's important to them too, and it needs to align with what we're currently doing. And I think that's why there's no hard feelings between my family and I.
Yeah. But
It's
you
not.
sat down with them, right? And told
Yeah,
them this
I've
is what
told
we're
them.
trying to do. Okay.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
So communication is
Yeah.
important. So it's very important to do what you want to do. Like, you need to know yourself first. What is it that you want to accomplish? Because when you accomplish it, do the things that you said you were going to do, you feel great about yourself. And if
Oh
you
yeah.
feel great about yourself, you give the best of yourself. And if you give you the best of yourself, then you have a very happy life, a very content life, no matter where how much money you make. That's what's important, because at the end of the day, money is numbers, and those numbers do bring freedom, right? Because you can buy back your time. But it doesn't matter if while you were building money, your personal life, the people that you love just went to the crapper.
Yeah, you lost it.
Right? You lose what
just
you're working for in a sense just for money. And it's not. I don't think there's a.
Yeah, for us
For
that's
me,
not
there's no
success.
price.
Yeah.
There's no price. There's no amount of money that compares to my family, because when I go up to heaven, I know when God asked me, like, what did you do? I'll be like, this. It wasn't, oh well, I bought this house here, I took my wife on this trip here.
Yeah.
It's not, and I spent this much money on this gift. It's
Yeah.
not, and I sent my kid to this very expensive. It's not that.
No. Yeah.
I don't think God's gonna ask me how much money you spent. It's like,
I'm 100% sure he's probably not gonna ask
right. So
me.
it's and so
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean he's not gonna bless us with that, right?
Yeah.
Because hard work does lead to that. For me is that when I sit down, my wife and I are in sync when it comes to that, and my parents know I'm very ambitious. When I set my mind to something, it's gonna
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
done. I just don't know how long it's gonna take,
Yeah.
but it's
gonna
gonna get done.
Yeah.
So because I have a track record of saying this is what I'm gonna do, and I get it done. So it's I have history of backing it up. But one thing I'm gonna tell you guys, if you're listening out there, is don't let people, including ourselves, me, tell you what your perfect life is.
That's good. Yeah, that's true.
It's you need to figure that out for you. What do you want? And then once you figure that out, write that down. It's called writing down a goal,
Mhm.
because now you know where you're headed. So you're not like, where am I going? Right? You have a sense of direction, and that's beautiful. And then God will place the people, and He will introduce you into a room or rooms, and He will have a table set, and He'll have people sitting there with you. And that's, it's, and learn from people that are, doing, have what you have. I think that's one of the best things that happened in my 30s is, in my 20s, like you said, I party.
Yep.
In my 30s, I really got to learn who I was and what I wanted. And that's, now we're here. I'm very happy. I'm very happy where we're at. Obviously the competitive side in me always wants more, but I thank God every day for where I'm at, because I'm
Yeah.
no longer where I used to be.
Yep.
So I'm very thankful of that. And yeah, man, it's just, what do you want? Know thyself, and then communication with the people that are important to
Yeah,
you.
it's constant communication. 'Cause I know you and your wife have a schedule that both you guys can see, right?
Right.
And if she wants your time, she knows she can just schedule it in there. And to some people, they would be like, I have to schedule my husband's time. It's like, but like you, to me, I look at that as a great thing, because like if I schedule, like for example, I schedule a meeting with you, I know I'm gonna get Lewis's undivided attention for 30 minutes, right, or whatever time we schedule. I would want that from somebody, right?
Yes.
Like give me your undivided attention. Like that, I think. And plus, it's also more fair because you want to be the best husband you can be for your wife. Your wife also wants the best husband. If she just pops into the middle of your day when you're on fire, like you're trying to build this great business for them,
Right.
and then she interrupts your day, not in a bad way, because she's more important than anything, but now you have to stop what you're doing, switch mindsets. Okay, let me work with my wife, and then you just interrupted your day, and that could be, at least for me, sometimes it could be frustrating, right? And then now you're not you're not the best husband,
Right.
right? And that just,
Yeah.
again, I really do think, and again, Lewis is right. Don't let us tell you, but I think it will help a lot
Yeah.
if you and your spouse will get on the same page as quick as possible. And then don't forget, if you're reading the same book, some people read faster than others, right? So like every week you should probably meet with them to make sure you stay on that same page.
Right.
So
Right. And it was leading to, this is the thing that I was trying to get to, is because we're always saying like, well, when do you know how to take a break? That's the part of about communication. Whenever we know where we're going, that's why my wife doesn't interrupt me when I'm working.
yeah,
Like, and not in the, because she knows that if she can handle it, she has, obviously she's a grown woman. I trust her with everything, and she trusts me with everything.
yeah,
At the end of the day, she can make decisions without me,
yeah.
right? And I tell her, if it's really really urgent and you need me, absolutely, I'm gonna answer you. It's not like I'm not gonna answer you because I'm working. It
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't work that way.
It's the beauty of running a business.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's the freedom behind it, and the responsibility too.
yeah,
So she knows when I'm in the office, I'm in work mode. Like she knows. And it's so funny because we work together. Many people are like, well, how do you work together? When we're working, we're working. We're
yeah, yeah.
colleagues. We're not like making out and
I did see one time.
I mean, yeah,
I'll play.
for a little bit, for a little bit. No, but what I'm saying is, we know that when we're in the office, we're working, we're booking appointments, we're sitting down with our recruits, we're teaching them, we're sitting down with clients, we're doing what needs to be done in the office. When we're at home, we
Yeah.
don't. It's very rare, unless she already knows that I have a Zoom call I have to do at home, or I know she has to do a Zoom
Yeah.
call at home. At home is family time.
Mhm.
That's when we're with family. That's when we talk about what happened through our day. And you need to communicate. I know you speak to people in our business, line of business. We're talking to people all the time. You can't get home and be like, leave me alone. I've been working all day talking to people. No, you need to
Yeah.
take the time, because I was the other day, I had the opportunity to stay with my son. It's wonderful to speak, but my son doesn't talk back to me. And my wife, I just think about, wives that are moms that are at home, and I just think about, they don't have conversation. They're talking. I mean, they could probably be telling their kids something, the baby something, but the babies are blah 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 blah. It's all they're going to reply
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
So they need that human interaction too. So that's why I'm like, okay, babe, we talk about stuff, and and I know she appreciates that because my wife is, quality of time is her thing. And so, she just wants my undivided attention. So I never have seen it as a trade-off or like a sacrifice, because I get to do everything I want every day.
Yeah.
I get to praise my God every day, every moment of my life. I get to build a business as big as I want to,
Yep.
and I get to have the family that I want. I do not compromise. There's no such. I don't compromise
Yeah.
that. And the reason now is, for the time being, does my business get most of my time?
Yeah. We
Absolutely.
call it seasons.
Right.
Yeah.
And my wife, but why don't I worry or feel like I'm letting down my family? Because once again, it goes back to what I told you earlier. We had a conversation. We know what we're gonna do. And so there's no hard feelings. And that includes my brothers, that includes my in-laws. They know that when
Yeah.
it's Primerica, they leave Luis alone for like he's doing what he needs to get done.
Yeah.
And they support us because, like I said, we've set the goals out and we accomplish them, and so we back up what we say, and that's
Yeah.
so important. Whatever you're doing, whatever you said you're going to get done, just finish the job. And I promise you, it's people will support you more because they're like, okay, it's a real thing. This guy says something, or this lady says something, and they actually get
Yeah.
it
He can
done.
take it to the bank.
Yeah. So, and I seen you. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is not the way. I don't know if I would think this way if I didn't have the mentors or the examples, like you and Crystal, and with your girls, and the farmers with their boys, and then you have Avitia too, when he talks about how during the years that his kids were in high school, you couldn't find him at the office because he
Yeah,
was
he was at
being
everything.
exactly like I think about that, and now you see Avitia going for it. He's about to open a big old office, right?
Yeah.
You see the Sotos, every these people are in our organization, and you see them go for it, and I'm the Mashukas, and it's just so awesome
Yep.
that those are the people on my table that I get to ask questions when there's something that I'm like, man, how did you do this? How did you navigate this, through this? It's like, thank God. Thank God that these people are in my life. I
Yes.
thank God because I get, it's like and you tell me, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. It's, you know what I do? I implement it. It's like I ask for the advice, I ask, and then I go and I implement it, and it's beautiful. I think I'm in my beautiful, happy, amazing life right now, season, and I thank God for it. But yeah, so I'm taking all that I can right now from where I'm at.
Yeah, and I think it's because you also choose to see it that way. Because let's be honest, like, and again, man, I'm not. If anybody's listening to this, I'm not firing shots at anybody, but you choose to see it. You choose to see the great things in your life, and I say it all the time. What you focus on, the life you focus on, is the life you're living,
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to continue to live. Because easily, right? Because I know your life. I could be like, man, Lewis is trying to build a business. His wife just got hurt, right? Your dad didn't. Your father-in-law didn't get in an accident. He got ran over, right?
Right.
Like he can't. He learned how to rewalk,
Right.
right? Your wife is walking in a walker too. So you got two people that learn how to walk. You got
My
a baby
baby
with a
learned how to
walker,
walk.
right? You got no you just open another office. You got a bigger business expense, right? Like,
Yeah.
people could see it as overwhelming too, but like I said, we choose not to see it that way because, one, we prayed for this, right? Two, we know God's got us.
Amen.
I think that right there, I don't even need to go any further,
That's
because
it.
what it is, it's about, like, we talked
Surrendering.
about this the other day. You can't have fear and faith in the same. You have to choose which one are you going to live by.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that fear won't come into the mind,
Yeah.
but because faith will overcome it, and you're able to say, look, I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I do know, come good or bad, God will always make sure it ends up good for me. It's going to serve me in a way, and He's going to work it for good, because the plans He has for me is, again, plans to prosper, plans to give you a great future.
Yeah.
And you
Come on,
believe that,
Jeremiah.
right? Yeah, you believe that, and what's crazy is, because you believed it, you had dark days in your 20s, right? You have days you don't probably remember in your 20s, right? And so do some of you guys that are listening. But it doesn't have to stay that way. And also, who you were is not who you are today, and who you
Yeah.
are today is not who's the Lewis going to be when he's 40.
Nope.
And remember, God's got you. If I could say anything, the reason I'm so thankful, to be quite honest with you, is because this year, I know you said you're like, this is your, like, you're happy. So this, God has opened my eyes this year to the fact that, why are you worrying if you truly believe that I got you. I think that's if I had like a, I don't know, people have words for the year and stuff like that. It's just that no matter what happens, he's gonna take care of it, right?
Amen.
And he's gonna work it
Yeah.
because he's got a plan already.
Think of the word. Think of the two words: faithful or fearful.
Yeah.
Like
Full.
however you decide to fill it,
Yep.
it's on you.
Yeah.
Because God is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, wonderful, whatever you want to say. But to me,
Yeah.
it's God is wonderful, and He's the only wonderful out there. I mean, He has it all in control, right? And that's why there are times when fear does want to creep in, but you have to be able to recognize it and say, to me, I talk to myself a lot, you guys, and maybe I'm crazy. I am a little crazy.
He talks out loud too.
And I do talk out loud to myself, and the reason I do that is because I want to get my thoughts straight. It's sometimes there's so much crap that can go into my head, and I'm like, hold on, what is this doing? What is this thought doing in my life? And then I have to cast it out. Jesus said, cast it out.
Yeah.
So I'm casting it out, and if it brings fear, I'm like, that's not from God, and I don't serve anyone else but my God. My Jesus is my Jesus, and what His word says is true yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Therefore, if He says, do not worry, you know what? I'm not gonna worry, because things will sort themselves out. If things have to be let go, there's a reason why He's asking me to let go of those things. Actually in the last 2 years, I've been learning how to let go.
That's good. Yeah.
Last 2 years, because that was something that I liked. I always liked hanging on to things.
Yeah. Control it.
Controlling it. But what I didn't realize is God is energy.
Yeah.
Energy has to flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Energy has to flow. And when you keep everything, God's like, I can't move that energy. You gotta, money's energy, people's energy, everything is energy. We always talk about your energy will introduce you into a room before you even open your mouth.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
So everything is energy, and you just gotta, like, man, I never understood David Farmer would give away, clothes. Like, I was like, this is still good clothes. And it's like, yeah, but it served the purpose in me now. Now I understand it.
Yeah.
And he's like, but now it needs to go serve somebody else.
And it makes room for his new one.
Right. And then he makes room for new stuff. But same thing with their money. They make a lot of money. He always talks about when we go to 1 million, to me, it's just, we're $1 million hierarchy now. My life is not going to get any much better, because I already have everything I want. When it comes to monetary wise, it just means Jax can give more away.
Yeah.
He always says that, and it's the honest truth.
It is.
Why are they so blessed? They move the money. They send the money to do what it needs to do to help other people, and I think that's why they're wonderfully blessed by God in the sense of their business and their finances. But the reason I'm telling you that is because your wife did that same thing, with the toys, because your girls are so blessed. Undeniably blessed. Because I've been to his house. If you ever go to his house, there's like 4 rooms full of toys. And the reason being is because Crystal has a huge family, so they get a lot of gifts. And of course, their dad makes a lot of money, and wife says, "I want this for the girls." They get that, and it's just they have so many toys, but some of the toys phased out. And my boy was coming in, and you guys gifted him so many things that, that he read through. I'm not gonna lie, some of those toys are broken now, because he's like boom, boom. But what I'm saying is, you guys do the same thing, and I wonder, like, and then I look at people that are not in the business. I'm not trying to be a jack, like rude or anything, but they like to hang on to things, and I was one of those. That's why I'm able to recognize it. And then it just, God said, let it go, gift it to somebody else, give it to somebody else, let it serve somebody else. Now it served you for what you needed it to serve. Now let it serve someone else. So how do you feel about giving?
It's a lot better now than I ever have. I used to give because, again, like, one, it to me, I believe it's biblically commanded, right? To give, and also especially give the people in need. But it was something I used to just check a box off, because it was like, okay, God said to do it. I want to be a good boy,
Right.
because my whole life, I told my wife this the other day. I feel like my whole life has been people telling me what to do, and what's crazy is I've done it. Like, and honestly, like, if I look at my life, my brother was my tennis coach. He's like, do this, you'll beat everybody else, right? So I did that. Then I got another coach. I've had coaches my entire life, And I always believe everything they tell me because I'm coachable. But I said this the other day: if you have a belief but you can't explain why you believe what you believe, then it's not your belief. You just copied someone else's.
Mm,
And what I realized is I was
that's good.
maybe although my life ended up pretty good so far, I think this year God's been telling me to trust myself and trust Him because He's, like I said, He's got it. So the giving, especially, I think late last year, earlier this year, has really just been like a joyful giver. Exactly what the Bible talks about.
He's learned how to share, guys. He's
Yeah,
learned how
I'm
to
literally
share.
learning how to share in my 30s, man. You know what I mean? Like I was the guy. I was the guy. Some of you guys are probably still the guy. Like I have my shirts that were like medium, and I'm like, but that's a nice shirt, really expensive
Medium
one.
now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna fit in. I'm gonna fit back in it one day. And then my wife was like, "You just need to give it to somebody." And I'm
Yes.
and now, like, we just give it. Like, and the reason we give it is not because you could just buy another one. But again, learned it from my coach was like, he was always giving clothes away. I was like, "Why are you giving the shirt away? It looks like it's never even been worn." He's like, "Because I'm about to buy a whole bunch of new ones. Like, like out with the old, in with the new. And if somebody can use it, somebody can use it because it was really good clothes." And
Right.
that is a lesson you can learn from people that. And again, it's not only just wealthy people. I know a lot of other people, right? Like, like friends and family that do giving really well. And by the way, because you give doesn't mean you always get back, but
Right.
God will take care of you.
Yeah, but don't expect it
Don't
back.
expect it back.
That's
Yeah.
don't expect it back because I mean it's a different because now it became a transaction.
Yep.
It's not giving.
Yeah.
It's two different things: transaction and giving.
Yep.
When you give because when you give it to somebody, you're expecting something back. Now it became a transaction. It lost its purpose. The energy is not gonna. The
Agree.
energy is not flowing the way that it needs to flow.
Yeah.
But when you freely give, you say, "I'm releasing it. I'm giving it away, and let it serve you." And by the way, let me clarify this. It doesn't have to be physical things like clothes, toys, money. It could be time
Yeah.
too.
Helping someone.
Okay, helping someone, being
Yeah.
there for someone when they need you there. That's giving too, because you're giving them one of the most precious things you own, which is your time.
Yep.
And so because if you say yes to them to helping them, then you have to say no to somebody you probably rather be with, but you don't expect anything back. I believe that's what God sees in your heart, and that's what He blesses. Is when He says freely give, He's not just talking about money. I know unfortunately most things are attached to money, and it's like freely give, and they think it's money. No, there's a lot of ways you can give.
Yep.
And so when you do it from that way, it's like He says, right? You're not probably not going to eat. You're not going to reap from the field you planted. You're probably going to reap from a different field,
Yeah.
and it comes from the most unexpected ways.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful. If you ever, I hope you get the opportunity. You give yourself that opportunity, because when you freely give, then God will say, "Watch what I do. Watch how I give. Watch how I multiply."
Yeah.
And when you witness it in your life and in your people's lives, you're like, how can you say God doesn't exist? Because
Agree.
it's a blessing. And like I said, it's just the way that God set up the universe. I think it's because I do believe, God is everything, and God is a lot of energy to me. It's a,
Yeah.
God doesn't need to say who He is. It's like His people speak,
Yeah.
His people live, and that's how you see God, right? So, you know, yeah, man.
Well, with the giving thing too, also because you said something about like that, like I was giving to get, or I was giving because I was told to. And what's funny is when I started, people go, "How do you know when it changed?" Because I actually, the only way I could put it into words was when I give, like when I freely gave because I wanted to. I think I got more out of it than the person I gave to. Like I was just like,
That's the
I,
gift.
I literally, like, that was the gift. Like I was giving and then I was waiting. I was like, all right, come on, man. I just gave some money. What's coming back? You know what I mean? Like God said, but again, like don't do that. It's or I gave. Look, God, I told you, I helped them. I wasn't posting on social media or anything like that. Some
Right.
people post nothing wrong, but I just wasn't a poster on social media on what I gave. But now it's like if I when we give, well, one, my wife is giving. I don't even know what she's giving, but when we do, it's just like I'm like, dude, that was just that little part was already fun.
Right.
Like, it was fun. And again, like Lewis said, it does not have to be money. It could be your time. It could be a listening ear. Right? We're in Thanksgiving. You know how many people don't have families that just want somebody to talk to? Like it could be anything, man. But real quick, let's start wrapping up. So, Thanksgiving, is awesome. But I always tell people after July 4th, I feel like the year just goes like boom, boom, boom. All these holidays kind of, whether you recognize them or not, they just kind of all hit. And then Christmas, and then boom, we're throwing. It's like from fireworks to next fireworks, which is January 1st. It's like it's so fast.
Right.
Um, what is your plans for finishing off this year? Because we got like 5 weeks left, which is unbelievable, right? And now going into 2026, right? That's crazy. So what are you looking forward to? I guess is there anything that you already know is coming, or is there something that you're looking to big to accomplish? What's going to go on?
An explosion in our business is coming.
Yeah,
I know that we're walking into the season. I know that God prepared us for this season. And we have mentors that they want us. Obviously, who doesn't want the explosion and the takeoff and the multiplication right away for their teammates? Because we
yeah,
have we have wonderful mentors that's what they want for us, and we want that for us too. But we all have different processing times. And I believe that God will process you before he opens up the floodgates. And if that process is interrupted or you do not go through that process, those gates will not get open. I'm a firm believer in that. And the reason being is because it's a way to protect you. It's a way
yeah,
not to hurt you or anybody else that's coming your way. Um, Whenever you've made the commitments, you have the communication, and you stay obedient in what he's saying, and you allow the process to go through, then he says, now you're ready. And then literally what you were praying for in your business explosion or your business takeover happens overnight.
yeah.
In all I ask my mentors that believe in me and that I know want better for me is have patience.
Yeah.
It's coming. I'm not going anywhere. My flag is planted, and I promise you, because I know we're walking into that season. And as a whole hierarchy, I wholeheartedly believe that the Farmer Crew expansion and the Team Extreme crew is about to take off. We're going
Oh
into
yeah.
new heights, and it was like bamboo, right? I really believe. You know how
Oh yeah.
bamboo takes 7 years where the roots grow all the way down,
Yeah.
and on
Shoots up.
top you see nothing. You
Yep.
see nothing, no growth, and you're like, well, where's it at? You know. And then all of a sudden, and overnight, that bamboo just
Yeah, like 25
shoots
feet or something like
up,
that.
and you're
Yeah.
like, well, what did you do? What magic? It was like, no, it was not magic. It's you didn't know the preparation. And sometimes it's not even about the business. It's a spiritual preparation.
That's
God
good.
wants
Yeah.
wants to prepare you spiritually, because yes, we live in a physical world,
Yeah.
but we also are intertwined with a spiritual realm.
Yep.
And many people, I'm doing the readings, I'm talking to people, I'm making the connections, and they forget the other side.
Yeah.
It's like you cannot disregard one side, because the spiritual realm is going to come to life in the physical
Yep.
realm. And because me and you, we're more interested in the spiritual, in what God, in the things of God.
Yep.
That's why God knows our hearts. He's like, I got to prepare you
Yeah.
spiritually, and I know that's what he's been doing. That's why the Bible studies we have, the services, everything that we do.
Yep.
I know why God did. Now I understand. Right before I was just like, why am I doing this? But now I understand
Yeah.
why he was doing, because there was a process being in. And I promise you that there is a season right now. We're about to enter it. I'm claiming it in the name of Jesus that we are. You know how we say we're one recruit away from an explosion. We're about to have multiple explosions in the business,
Yeah.
and I feel it. I feel it. And I want to make like I said, my mentors proud.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And we talk about know thyself. Yes, it makes me proud. It makes me
Yeah.
excited, because I'm like, yeah, we're going to accomplish it. But I just know that we are going to have so much to talk about, and I can't wait to have more chairs here so
Oh
we
yeah.
can have some of our teammates, and we can ask them the question of what do you feel you're going through,
Yeah.
growing through? What are you getting out of it? How are you changing? Like, I can't wait to do those things, or go on trips with them, and I know it's coming, and it's actually here already. Let me not say it's coming. It's already here. I know we're stepping into it. We've already stepped into it, and so it's about to manifest itself in the physical world. And so I'm excited, man.
Me too.
God's always taking care of our businesses and making sure we stay afloat. Like no matter what happens, we still making money. But now now he's about to fill the storage houses. The storehouses are about to get full. And the reason being is because we're going to teach others how to fill their storehouses, and I'm looking forward to it. That's what I know, that's what's about to happen. I feel it in my heart. I'm telling you, like there's a new conviction, and so yeah, man. What do you in I guess in the business we're in, we're about we are already in 2026. 2025 to us, and and what we do is already over. 2025. So right now we're prepping to launch 2026. What that means in the next 5 weeks, we know what we have to do, which is not sleep. This is when we explode, because this is going to set up January, February, and March. 2026 for us does not start January 1st.
Nope.
It starts during like right now, this week of Thanksgiving is when it starts our preparations for that year. So the foundation of 2026 is set, and then we can run. Not okay, what are we gonna do? It's like we're already, So yeah. What about you?
I'm just looking to see the ride that he's going to take me on. That's what I said, and the reason why is because like you said something. I don't know if you said it exactly, but I guess I heard it in my head. The plans you think you have, he's got something bigger for you, bigger and better for you, if you can just believe that it's possible. Because I think a lot of times people, we stay in our own little bubble of what, okay, I believe I can do this. Well, it's like, then you have no room for God to work. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, and you probably can. And you really can. But why are you settling for what you can do? I thought you said you serve a God that literally has spoken the world into an existence. You don't think he could speak your business into 100x or 10x or 15x or forget that, man. What if he builds? What if he gives you something that you only dreamed about? So to me, I'm just continue to get better, but most importantly is just, if I'm going to pray for all that, also get ready for the work that's going to come along with it. Because in order to lead a team of really great people, I think you got to remember, like you said it earlier, just know thyself, which is like, I believe I can. Working hard is not the problem. It's staying consistent with the hard work is the problem.
Right.
I think a lot of people,
That's
even
good.
guys that are listening on this call, you've worked hard at something before and you got it. You've gotten it. Like you worked out, you lost the weight.
Yeah.
You wanted to save $10,000, you did it. You wanted to fix your car, you did it. You wanted that girl, you got her. Like you did it. The problem is not getting the girl to marry you. It's keeping her married to you in a winning relationship. I say it all the time. We'll close kind of with this. You make two decisions in almost everything you do. The first one is, I'm not going to quit, but the second one is, I'm going to go win. And I think a lot of people never make that second one, right? Like they start a business. I'm not going to quit, and they'll grind it out. But dude, a business is not supposed to be just grinding. It's supposed to be prospering and multiplying.
Right.
Like, so, like you just said, hey, I'm not going to quit, but are you going to go win? Your marriage, you're probably not quitting, but you're just roommates. Like, are you winning? Are you still dating your wife, man? Are you guys, I don't know, getting it on as much as you possibly can? I have no idea, because like, that's a winning marriage. What is a winning marriage fruit? Like that's what it is. It's fun for you and her. Right. And I really do believe at the end of the day, like you said, we've been putting in the work, but I know God's like, I got y'all, and I got a lot of stuff coming your way. Just be ready for it.
Yes.
And get ready to do the work, because whatever work you're doing, I'll 100x it,
Amen.
and we're going to receive it. So if you're in the Houston area, we really like to work with people face to face mainly. So if you're in the Houston area or within like an hour, 2 hours around it, we'd really love to connect with you. If you ever thought about doing something on the side to make some more money, or doing something full time, like I said, if you speak Spanish, predominantly, you can definitely, just write something in the comments. If you're English or if you're bilingual, that's obviously amazing as well. But we'll connect with you guys. We'll help you, understand our business a little bit more. It is in the life insurance and investment business, but what overpowers all that is we're in the people business. So if you're great with people, all the other stuff we can train. He comes from a background of of people skills, and he was really good at, he obviously went to school, very, catches on to things very well. So he already had the people skills, which he learned before, and then he learned what we did, and he just took off very quickly. And then I have a background where I never done nothing. Like, this is all I ever done. And so I had like no skills except a competition, but I brought that to the table, and we went off, like, so at the end of the day, would you agree, Lewis, that just come as you are if you're open to hear about what we do, and we'll tell you what we do. And if you're what we're looking for and what we do matches, you might be one of that explosions in 2026, and we can make
Come
something
on now.
special. So reach out in the comments, like the video, or just comment more info and any of the little clips that we put. We'll be more than happy to reach out to you. Okay, so God bless, and let's start 2026 off awesome.
That's right. God bless you guys.